everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Wrong Opinions. I am Tyrone. That is Devin. We got another episode for you today. This time, it's the Netflix movie that's out right now called Don't Look Up.
We discovered a very large comet.
Oh, good for you.
It's headed directly towards Earth.
This comet is what we call a planet killer.
Don't Look Up is a movie that's directed by Adam McKay from fame of Anchorman and other guys and Step Brothers and all those awesome comedy movies that star Will Ferrell and some other people. But this one is starring a lot of Oscar winners.
Leonardo DiCaprio, first of all.
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet. I like to say his name like that. And
Gotcha.
Jonah Hill.
You sounded like, what's his name from Hustle and Flow?
What's happening with you, man? My game tight, man. It's hard out here for a pimp, man. Real, man. Hold on, I like that, man.
You my rock, man. You my rock, man.
Hold on to this. What this mean?
What this mean?
I'm in charge.
You in charge. Say it louder.
Hey, I'm in charge.
I'm in charge.
You in charge.
All right,
We're talking about the wrong movie.
DJ, the fuck up, man.
This movie lets you know that if in real life, stuff like Armageddon and Deep Impact, any serious type of movie, if it happened in real life, we'd be screwed. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
So basically, Jennifer Lawrence's character, she is part of an organization who monitors asteroids around the asteroid belt.
I believe she was an astrophysicist PhD candidate.
Exactly. They monitor comets that come by. They're supposed to come by close to Earth in the orbit. And there's one that they've been keeping their eye on. They named it after her, and it's like woo! And they called Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like the head astrophysicist. And they were doing the math, and all of a sudden, that math went to a zero. And that math that he was doing was basically
it was how close it's going to get to Earth. Yeah. And because at first they thought it was just going to fly by, then they realized that no, this is going to make a direct hit. It was like 4 kilometer asteroid or something. So if it hits, it's an extinction event. And so naturally, Leonardo DiCaprio is freaking out. Jennifer Lawrence is freaking out. The whole scientific community is freaking out. But regular Joes, they really don't care. They don't care.
You got them going on a television show.
But that was after they tried to tell the newspaper, and they didn't give a fuck. Yeah, they didn't care. No.
But they went to them, and they got the anchors played by Tyler Perry and some other lady, and they're just like comical, man. They're scripted, and Tyler Perry once said that, oh, this comet comes by, is there any way you can have a chance to hit my ex-wife's house? It's right here, and blah blah blah.
Right.
They're like, are you hearing us?
They brought them on as like a fluff piece, like something to end the show, something lighthearted. They're like, yeah, keep it light, keep it funny, and they're like, yeah, we have nothing light or funny to say.
It's crazy that as the story goes on, people are thinking that Jennifer Lawrence's character is the most craziest person in the world, and she's loony.
Well, because she's acting like you would normally behave when you find out the world has 6 months to live. She's like, we're all gonna die.
Should stay up all night, every night, crying, when we're all 100% for sure gonna fucking die.
And so she just turns into a meme, right? Everyone just thinks she's hilarious. And they're like, what? But then at the same time, on the other end, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio, where he starts off as like this dorky, frumpy scientist. But after being on that show on television, some of the women were like, oh, he's so cute. And so he turns into like the sexiest man alive or something like that. So anyway, everyone's talking about everything but the topic at hand. And it feels very much kind of like the situation we have right now with the pandemic, where we
climate control.
That's right. And climate change. That's right.
Yeah, climate change. That climate control.
Yeah, climate control's in your house. Climate change outside. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where everyone's like, yo, this is serious. We need to do something about it. He even went to the president, played by freaking Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep she's kind of like a former president of ours, Trump. She's hired like her son as the chief of staff, and he's got what's really funny is Jonah Hill. He has these like little details I forgot Jonah Hill was like a comedian. I don't know why I did this. He's been in so many serious roles, but he has these little tics that he does, which makes it very clear, you know, what he does when the camera's not rolling. Like he's like, yeah. And you're like, oh my God. And again, they don't care. And the only time they ever care or show any interest is if they can see some sort of political gain. If there's no political gain, then they're like, you can take your 6 month to live thing and shove it, because the midterms are in 3 months. So I don't care about what happens in 6 months. It's like, oh my gosh, so silly. Yeah.
They wanted to ride this belief and this trust of the people, and to try to gain, so she can get, you know, political gain for the midterms and stuff, to where they hire a astronaut a military guy that's played by Ron Perlman. He's some hotshot freaking
but also equally stupid.
Yeah, equally stupid.
And a raving racist.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're like, oh, he's just folksy, you know? He's from another time. It's like, what? It's like, I like to thank all the gays out there. Thank you. And all the hard-working whites for supporting me. It's like, what in the heck?
And a big hello to that beautiful blue ball down there we all call home. All those proud white folks working hard.
80% of it is written, and 20% of it was improv. I saw an interview that Adam McKay, the director, was talking about that. You know, he wants to give his actors, especially on this movie, a lot of room to breathe and to have fun, you know, and it shows. And Jonah Hill in this movie, his one purpose in this movie was to make fun of Jennifer Lawrence throughout the whole thing. He's like,
even that, he was really only doing it because she wouldn't sleep with him at first. So he was just like, oh, F you, you know? He's just being a big jerk.
So what is technically the tone of this film?
That's a good question. This is definitely like a black comedy, you know, where the topic is very dark, right? It's literally everyone's going to die, and it's up to these two characters, played by Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio, to inform the world. But what do you do when the world won't listen? What do you do when you're showing them all the facts, all the numbers? It's been peer reviewed, it's been double checked, and no one cares. No one cares. As a matter of fact, what's even really funny about it is they show like different like kind of parodies of different like television networks and stuff like that, where there's one network that takes it, you know, kind of seriously. It's a little jokey. But there's another one, they just think it's a lie. They're like, this is a complete lie. I've got science that says there's no comet at all. And they're like, what are you talking about? Of course there's a comet. Just look up, you know, and you can see it, you know. But then of course that starts a whole movement from the other side where they're like, don't look up, and the other guys are like, look up. It is just what makes it funny is that it's like so sad, you know. You're like, this is exactly how things operate right here in the real world.
Yeah, and then when that opposite side was at a rally for the president, when they were saying don't look up, and they actually stopped and they actually had no choice to look up because the sky was getting brighter as the comet was coming in. It was like, they lied to us.
It's like, dude, what? But and then I think the movie has a really interesting point in that at the end of the film, when it became obvious that they were like going to die tonight, what's interesting about it is the people who were telling everyone to just look up, they ignored it, right? They were like, you know what? I should just live my final life, my final days blissfully, happily, not in a panic, not scared. I want to spend my time with the people I love, the people who are around me. And even though their house was shaking and there was like fire outside, you know, they were still making small talk. And I think the movie was trying to say that perhaps for some people, looking at the reality, looking at real world, that the real world is hard. You know, sometimes that is hard. And it's just easier to just go in La La Land. And I thought that was an interesting and kind of a strangely fair analysis of the other side of like how come they never listen to logic? How come they never listen to reason? And I think it's just they're scared, right? They're scared. Yeah. It's hard. And at the end, the scientists people were sitting around having small talk while the world exploded.
And the thing is, Leonardo DiCaprio did an interview and he said that if the story did not end like it ended, he said, I wouldn't have done it at all. Because it would have been, it wouldn't make any sense to him. It's like if you have a catastrophic event to come down here and then somehow, some way, people actually got together and they found a way to save the planet. And because by the end of the film, there was this rich billionaire that was clearly Elon Musk or whoever,
or like a Steve Jobs or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And devised all of these like individual ships to go up there, drill like Armageddon, to have them unmanned, go up there, drill holes into the comet
and like break it up. But he only did it because he thought he could get money out of the comet. Right? That's it.
Exactly.
He didn't care about survival. He didn't care about people around him. All he cared about was making money for his business, which is just terrible.
Stupid. Which is what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. The rich people, the people who have all the means, they don't do anything until it starts to affect their bottom line. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, you know. But see, you were talking about the ending. I kind of thought that it would end with the bad guys winning because, like you said, that tech billionaire, he devised this plan to break up the comet because for some reason the other plans in Russia blew up on the launch pad. We don't know the details around that. They left that kind of vague. So they were the last ones, and of course these guys were the most evil people, right? They were terrible and they were cynical, and you're like, oh, of course you've got all the means in order to end this. And so I thought it might end with them actually breaking up the comet and extracting minerals and getting even more rich. But no.
No, it ended.
The world ended.
Everything ended. The world ended.
But the rich people managed to they had like little lifeboats that they flew off to another planet. Mm-hmm. 22,000 years later. This movie just goes into complete science fiction. And you're like, what? It takes the wildest left turn at the very end where they were like all the rich people, they are cryogenically frozen until they get to a viable planet. They unfreeze and are promptly eaten by like alien dinosaur things. And you're like, what the fuck? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of interpreted the president. While she was an idiot, I don't think she was dumb. And I think that was really accurate too. She was more concerned about showing people that she smoked cigarettes, because apparently every time she smoked a cigarette, her poll numbers raised, than she was with dealing with the comet.
Direct parallel mirror to our society is just all true, and that's why Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to do this film.
Yeah,
and to looking at what the budget was for this film, which is $75 million. It's like he did it for like a cheap.
yeah, that was. And to me, this is where I think something like Netflix really shines. I think something like Netflix, you can put a mid-budget film on Netflix, but I'm not sure if you can do that in the theater so much. Everybody wants, like I said, your Spider-Mans and your big, huge blockbusters. And these mid-budget films, which I think are super important to the film industry, don't make it to the theater anymore. But I'm glad they still get a platform on Netflix, because it would have been a shame if something like this was never shown. Also, I talk about how much I like science fiction, because with science fiction you can talk about really serious topics without ever really like hammering it in over your head. I forget sometimes that a good comedy can do that too. That's another thing. When's the last time you saw a comedy in theater? it's probably been a million years, because again, those tend to be small to mid-budget films. So I like that this movie was able to talk about such big issues without it being such a heavy, dark movie. It might have been why you were talking about the tone earlier.
Yeah, you're not seeing Adam Sandler just wreak havoc on the box office like he used to. All his movies go straight to Netflix now.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating on this film.
Let's hear it, Fred Durst.
Yeah. That's the Fred Durst. Yeah.
We know.
But it's a good film, man. It's a good film. It is dark, but it's also lighthearted at the same time. And it touches on everything, and like I said before, everything that's in society that's right now going on, especially with climate change and everything that we need to do to pay attention to it, but we're not going to because we just don't look up. All right. So I'm giving this movie a 8.5.
Okay. I like your 8.5, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. I like the movie a lot. I thought it was very poignant, very important. I think it's an important film, and I thought it was fair. I don't know. Maybe people won't think it's fair because I feel like the movie could have spent a lot of time just dunking all over the right, and it certainly does get a couple dunks in there, but it dunks a bit on the left too, and it, I think, tries to explain why the people on the right behave that way, because it's hard to look at reality sometimes. Sometimes reality is depressing and it's very difficult, especially when there's something so big that you can't really do anything about it. So I like that it's fair, and again, I thought this was a genuinely funny movie, and I think the tech billionaire guy, was he supposed to be autistic? Because if so, that's kind of tacky.
Yeah.
That's kind of tacky.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know either. I'm not sure. He sure acted strange. But other than that kind of stuff, I really did enjoy this movie. And not only did I enjoy it, but I recommend it.
Oh, I was just about to say that. Do you recommend it? Yeah, so Devin recommends this film. Go and borrow your friend's Netflix passcode and watch it. It's a great movie with fantastic actors, with a strong message, with some comedy just wrapped all in it, man. It's a good time. Go ahead and go see Don't Look Up.
I did have the FBI put that bag over your head. They don't do that. The CIA does, but I made them do it.
You know, I had a feeling.
It's a good feeling because that is what I did, and it was very funny and cool.
We'd like to thank you for clicking on this video of our review of Don't Look Up. We really appreciate you guys. You know what could help us out a little bit more? If you hit that subscribe button, all right? You could do it. It's right there, all right? And when you also, after you click that, go ahead and click that notification bell to stay up to date with everything we do on Mostly Wrong Opinions. Again, I'm Tyrone. That is Devin. And if you liked what our review was here, leave a thumbs up, please, right here, if you like this. Or you can leave a thumbs down if you want to. It's that button is still there. You can't see the numbers, but it's still there. You can click it down. Click it down if you want to. Whichever one it is your opinion. But just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. See you guys in another episode. Did you look down?
Yeah, I looked down.